Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Kristi. Today's video is going to be a day in the life of someone on keto that is also type 1 diabetic. And today is going to be a family day, so you may get to see Chris and the kids and of course my pets. Just a really quick warning, there will be items in today's video that are not keto friendly because everyone in my household is not following a low carb diet. So if you are just now tuning in, welcome. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that as soon as I upload, you'll know. Check me out over on Instagram. I'll have my name right down here at the bottom of the screen for you guys. And make sure you look in that description box. Down there, I'm going to have some discount codes and affiliate links, ways to save you money on some amazing keto items. And I'm also going to have the Facebook group linked there so that all you got to do is click on it and it'll take you right on over. This could be a long video because I'm going to show you everything that's going on. Things have changed up a little bit for me, but that is not going to change my keto low carb journey. I plan on sticking with that forever. It is a lifestyle for me, not a diet. Now, like I said, I am a type 1 diabetic, recently diagnosed in September/October. My endocrinologist did clear that I can fast and also stay keto and low carb. Make sure you check with your doctor before you do that, because of course I'm not a medical professional. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. I will not be eating breakfast this morning. For me, it's just a way for me to control my blood sugars early throughout the day. I do have to do a site change of my blood glucose monitor that goes on my arm. Now, when I do that, I will be without a monitoring system that I can just scan on my arm for at least an hour. And it takes this thing about 24 hours to completely calibrate to where it's accurate. So if I eat early and then have to change this, then I'm going to be poking my finger a lot more. So I'm just going to be skipping breakfast, but we will go through the site change later. We're actually having a family night again tonight. So like you all saw, I think in the last video, we're going to be doing our gingerbread village. And I think that the kids are going to make hot chocolate or hot chocolate cocoa bombs. I'm not really sure. I do have a recipe for the hot chocolate cocoa bombs that are keto friendly. So if you're wanting to make some of those with your family and enjoy them yourself, I will link that video for y'all. Chris just so happens to be meal prepping this morning. What you meal prepping?
Keto chow.
Lots of keto chows. And you are having breakfast this morning. What are you having?
Keto chow.
Keto chow. That's why you're meal prepping some?
I am.
You pretty much have keto chow every single morning here
Every
recently.
morning, yep.
Since you've been home.
I love it.
Okay, you guys already know. It's already linked below. Kids are up this morning and guess what they wanted for breakfast? Cinnamon rolls. You can definitely make keto friendly cinnamon rolls with a fathead dough. These are not keto. They are not diabetic friendly and they are not sugar free. I had to walk outside where it was quiet because my house is full of people because we are doing the gingerbread houses tonight and stuff. But I wanted to come out and say, guess what? I'm caught up on my water so far. It's about time for my site change. So I'm going to have to take the Libre off and put a new one on. But before I do any of that, I did want to say a few things. Like I said, I'm going to make this as quick as possible because the nose is turning red. It's about 55 degrees out here at the moment. I want to thank you all for mentioning in the comments of the last video that I needed to change my insulin pen. Yeah, this is my Humalog and this is the one I take every single time I eat. If I have something that I think is going to affect my blood sugar, pretty much everything affects my blood sugar at this point because I don't produce insulin. But if I keep it really low carb or I'm having a light meal and I don't think my blood sugar is going to go up past 180 if I'm low or something, then I'm not going to take it. But I've had this one for over 2.5 months. And apparently they're supposed to be changed every 28 days. So thank you for that heads up. I went ahead and changed pins. Second, I know I look rough. I'm having some issues with cystic acne. I had cystic acne since I got pregnant with Preston 25 years ago. And I had that cleared up about 5 years ago, and it's the first time I had been without cystic acne in 20 years. Now it's started back, and it's only started back in the last 2 months, and I think I know what the culprit is. Insulin. Insulin's a hormone, and you know, hormones, cystic acne. So my face is staying broke out, even though I've went back on my retinol and retin-A's and stuff like that. I'm still having some major issues with it. And if you have had cystic acne, you know how painful it can be. So if you got any suggestions, let me know what they are in the comments, because I mean, it's not like I can go without my insulin. Another prescription that I'm on right now, I only have to take it once weekly. It is going to be a massive dose of vitamin D3. This is going to be 50,000 IU. They seem to think that taking this when you're first diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, it is going to help prolong the honeymoon period. Now, before my nose gets so cold that it starts blinking like Rudolph, I'm just going to say that thank you all for the thoughts and prayers. Quincy has been extremely ill for over 2 weeks, and I'd posted on Facebook in the group that he wasn't doing well, to, you know, keep him in your thoughts. I'm serious. We took him to the vet that same day, and he has been doing better ever since. And the vet really didn't do anything. She said he wasn't dehydrated. She went ahead and said to keep him on his antibiotics and gave us another prescription of antibiotics to have on hand, and did some blood work, and that was it. I am 100% positive, in my opinion, that it was you guys sending out that positive energy, thoughts, prayers, all of that stuff that really helped him around the corner. So as of right now, update, Quincy is doing much, much better. And you know, I'm going to go ahead and address this topic too. I told you all in the last What I Eat in a Day video that I was struggling, and I'm struggling mentally and physically. Just my emotions are all over the place. It's a hard diagnosis, type 1 diabetes, to adjust to. I know that I'm going to be able to do it. It's physically hard because my brain just is not functioning anymore. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, I don't know. There's no words to explain it. It's like it's numb in there, and I keep saying my brain's jello or pudding, and it's because it just feels numb and like I can't process a thought. So I've been cutting back on the workload, just spending more time with the family. It's just going to take time. It could be so much worse. I know that. I mean, I'm 47 years old. I'm going to be able to cope. It's just going to take some adjustments. So thank you all for keeping me in your thoughts. There's just this mourning process that I'm going through, and maybe some slight depression. I can see that there are some signs there. I'm just hoping that I'm going to snap out of this quick. I just want things to be back to normal. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, because I took my medicine. We did a really quick chat. I want to go take a shower and clean up, but I'm going to go ahead and pull my Libre off, and I just wanted you all to see what it looks like. It's no big deal. So right here's where it's attached on the back of my arm. There's a little sensor that goes under the skin, and that way you can just scan your phone over it, and it's going to give you your numbers. There's about a 15-minute delay, they say, in those numbers than if you did a blood check. A blood check is always going to be more accurate. So all I got to do is just try. It's not painful to take these off. Like I said, it's not like there is a needle underneath there or anything like that. It just comes right off like that. You see the little sensor? That's the little sensor that goes up under the skin and is constantly monitoring. Okay, I'm gonna go take my shower, sensor free, and then when I put the new one on, I'm gonna let you see what it looks like, and we're gonna do a site change. We'll see you in a little bit. You wanna tell everybody hi? I think he wants to walk outside. It's cold outside. Shower done, time to go ahead and reapply the blood glucose monitor. This is the one I'm on. It's the Freestyle Libre 14-day sensor, and it does work with my phone. This is what's in the box. You got 2 alcohol pads so that you can prep the site, and then you have your 2 pieces. This is the one that's going to eject that little sensor into my arm. So you take this portion, you go ahead and pull that off. This is where the needle is going to be. It is going to have to take the needle and inject that little sensor into my arm. I'm going to pull this piece off. You got to twist it pretty hard, and then you're going to line up this section with this line like that. Push it down on a hard surface so that it connects. It's going to make that noise. Then you're going to pull that off. This is the sensor that's going to be in my arm. Can you see the needle right there? That needle is going to thread that little wire sensor under the skin. This ejects so quickly on my arm that I do not feel that needle, even though it is pretty thick. Do not touch any of this, even with clean hands. When Chris is home, he helps me out with this. I can do it myself. The kids have even done it. So we're going to clean the site with the alcohol pad first, and we're going to give it a few seconds to dry. While the alcohol dries, I want to mention, this is why I have Chris or someone here help me out with this, because that little needle needs to thread somewhere where there is not any kind of a mark, like a freckle, a mole, where there's no stretch marks. And as you can see, you can pretty much play dot to dot on my arm. Okay, Chris is going to line it up in a good spot. Push it down really hard, and it ejects into my skin. That's it. Didn't feel a thing. I go ahead and keep all of these pieces just in case this sensor fails. Then I can contact the company and they'll send me a new one, and I send this one back to them. Now that it's placed, all I have to do is just take my phone up to it, scan, and it's going to tell me it's time to go ahead and start the new sensor. It is going to take 60 minutes before it resets. My hour is finally up. Couldn't happen fast enough because I'm starving. I like to have my sensor on so that I can scan and put in when I eat and stuff like that. And you can see where it's saying it's 126, but it's showing this little sticker right here. That means I need to do a blood check, and that's because this sensor was just put on. Okay, time for lunch. One of my go-to meals, when I can find it, is going to be the Tyson's blackened chicken strips. I picked these up at Publix. That's the only place in my area where I can find them. And I'm giving the cheese fries from Aldi a second chance. I had initially fixed these when we were on vacation. We found them while we were in Florida, and they were a disaster. But I've seen tons of people making them on TikTok, and they say put them in the air fryer. So that's what we're going to do today. My favorite kitchen appliance ever invented, and that's my Cosori Air Fryer. This is the older version. I'll link it below, and the newer version. You can actually get the Cosori now in a smart air fryer. So you can hook this up to your home devices like your Google Assistant, your Amazon Alexa. You can download the app. You can control it from that. I will have one of those at some point, but I'm going to continue using my original Cosori for now. And I also use the liners. Did you know that they made parchment paper liners specifically for your air fryer? So it depends on if you have a round one, if you have a square one like we do. I just picked those up off of Amazon too. If you're interested, they're not that much. I think I got like a 200 count for $7. I'll see what I can find, and I'll put the best deal below in the description box for you. On the back of these cheese fries, which are just chunks of cut cheese, just so you know, it shows a pan fry method, and it also shows a deep fry method. I have it laid out into the air fryer. Now all I'm gonna do is add a little bit of garlic powder to the cheese. I'm not big on second chances, but you all told me I did it wrong, so we're gonna try it in the air fryer. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. The Cosori has the preset on here, so as soon as I put this in, it comes up at 350 degrees for 15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and start it, but in 5 minutes I'm coming back and I'm gonna be checking that cheese. While the chicken is in the air fryer, it has about 15 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 units of my insulin, and this is gonna be the Humalog. I'm noticing a pattern. This is gonna be a low carb meal. The chicken basically is gonna probably have less than 1, and that cheese is gonna be 1 or 2. My blood sugar spike isn't going to be nearly as fast when it's a high fat or a high protein meal, and it's gonna be low carb. Usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour before I start to see any kind of a spike. So this should give me plenty of time to go ahead and get this cooked up and my insulin to start to take effect before I eat. It's been 5 minutes. Let's check the cheese. Oh, well, that's impressive. I'm gonna take my tongs and I'm just gonna rotate it, sort of flip it over a little bit. Now I'm gonna put this back in the air fryer and let it cook for at least 5 more minutes. Well, there's something to be said about second chances. I think I've learned my lesson. I left the cheese in till it got super crunchy and it's delicious. So if I find it anymore at Aldi, I'm gonna be picking it up. It was over in that specialty section in the refrigerated department. So 2 pieces of the blackened chicken with some of the cheese fries from Aldi. I did sprinkle everything with pink salt. For dipping, I'm having the G. Hughes sugar-free famous cluckin' sauce. If you've not tried it, you need to. I could drink the stuff. It is so good. And speaking of drink, I'm having water. As you know, I'm not a huge fan of water, but this cup helps me chug it down. It gives me motivation. You guys already know I picked it up off of Amazon. I've already ate one of these cheese fries, and let me just say, air fryer, definitely the way to go with these. Do y'all burn candles? If you do, let me know. What are you burning right now? This is the one we recently picked up at Bath & Body Works, Mary Cookie. It smells wonderful. The kids and I are going to make some hot cocoa bombs. These are not keto friendly, but you can make them keto friendly, I swear.
It fell apart.
The strawberry cream cheese filling is sort of like a Danish, and I put a little bit of sweetener into the dough. I did forget to do the egg wash on top, but they still got brown. So I made 3 savory and 3 sweet. If you've not made the stuffed bagel bombs yet, you need to, and I'll link it for you. It'll be up in the cards and it'll be down in the description box. 6 o'clock, so it is time for 7 units of the long-lasting insulin, and this is the Tresiba. For dinner, I'm just going to throw together a meatball bake. What I'm using though is pizza sauce because I am completely out of marinara. But I use just a little bit of this. This is from Publix and it has no sugar added. Then I'm adding a layer of meatballs. I just picked these up at Walmart. Added some mozzarella cheese. Cut up some pepperonis. I had about 1.5 tablespoons of cream cheese left over from those bagel bombs, and I did not feel like putting that in the refrigerator. So all I did was just slice that up and throw it in here. Crumbled up some cooked bacon, a little bit more mozzarella, and some pepperonis. Now I'm gonna add some garlic powder. Okay, maybe this is more like a big giant pizza bowl. I'm not sure. Added the full pan to the Cosori. Now what I'm gonna do is cook this for probably about 5 to 8 minutes. Then I'll add another layer of cheese and let it finish cooking. Everything in here is already fully cooked. Basically all you're doing is putting this in here because the meatballs were frozen and you're just heating everything up. When you turn on my Cosori, it just automatically goes to 350 at 15. So I'm just gonna hit start. So before dinner, I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 to 3 units of my Humalog and then I'll eat. So about halfway through I did add more cheese, and that's what it looks like. So actually Chris and I are going to split this, and I'm also going to have one of the everything but the bagel bombs with it. You'll have to look over the dishwasher. It's running as usual, but it's the end of the night and I feel like dessert, and you're never gonna guess what I made. Keto friendly, sugar free, low carb, yummy delicious tiramisu. And unfortunately I do not have a recipe for you guys because I sort of just threw this one together playing around with a bunch of ingredients, but I'm gonna scoop some out because I want to show you what it looks like. Oh my goodness, I think I did about 3 layers. It's pretty thick. Here's what it looks like. There's going to be several servings here because all I did was just take a smaller bowl and put some of it in there. So like I said, end of the night, everything is calmed down, dishwasher's going, everyone has settled down. I'm going to go have dessert. Here's the final results from the gingerbread village. And of course, our elf Twinkles is here hanging out. So we did several different houses. And of course, Preston, he took the longest. I mean, he really put some time into this. You can't see, but this thing has stained glass windows made with lifesavers. The rest of us did not take near as much time as he did. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you're having a good December, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.